of how I viewed the world. I really expanded that worldview. Jean reassured me I can continue my work as a social advocate.
There is a lifelong commitment to become movement makers.
I am Candy, and this is Chico. He is my Two-Spirit loved one.
We work together for the Two-Spirit people.
Two-Spirit is an umbrella term that encompasses the fluidity of gender and orientation.
Our work is unique. We're here to serve our community, and it's difficult to create unity in the community when you're told you cannot, you should not, you will not.
Our ceremonies have been impacted by colonization, and with that, our ancestors have learned homophobia. So to decolonize these ceremonies, it means mending our sacred circles and honoring Two-Spirit people in those sacred spaces.
I'm Teresa. I work at Microsoft and I'm an environmental activist. And this is my eco-warrior friend, Grace. It's important to expose people to nature because they won't fight for what they don't know.
Teresa and I share so much of the same belief system.
We support each other, we protest together.
And we see things that need to be done to preserve the environment, and then we make it a point to go back and do that.
We have to build unity, we have to build community.
We aren't really alone individuals, we're really all together.
We have created a community beyond our own reach.
Everything's connected.
It's important that we find these connections, across race, gender, sexuality. Queer issues are housing issues. Trans issues can be anti-poverty, ending sexism and misogyny.
Together, we can create hope for the next generation.
We could disrupt the system.
Together we can succeed.
You're watching Clarity Media. Out of chaos comes clarity.
You reached Cab Choice. I'm not available right now. Please leave me a message or send me a text, and I'll return your call as soon as possible.
Sorry, that mailbox is full. Please call again later. Goodbye.
Yeah. Now, I don't know where they rank me. I don't know where I seed. I don't really play those games. I'm just in my own league. I done been overseas, TV screens, stages over 10G screens. We ain't gonna talk about touring. Let's not talk about short. No, let's not talk about Lauren. Don't talk about no performing. This endurance that warrants all respect due. I could barely fit you in my schedule to bless you. I could feel the jealousy, imitation, highest form of flattery. Music scene dead, call Kev, he the battery. Kill these rappers casually. Actually, if we speaking factually, I'm one of the greatest there will ever be. Pardon my ego, I see no equals. I speak no evil, they call me a hero. I speak for the people, they call me a Chico. Lethal, watch how they follow in my steps. Black Greek show, rappers got flows, late near it, not too deep though. Blame Basta for bringing out the Loch Ness monster. Now that's off my chest, God bless all y'all.
We are so blessed to be leaders in the city and county of San Francisco. San Francisco is extremely rich in resources and services, with over 7,000 nonprofit organizations, yet less than 2% of them are led by African Americans. We want to change that paradigm. With the Dream Keepers initiative that hails out of the Human Rights Commission and a grant that Success Centers was fortunate enough to receive from the Office of Economic and Workforce Division, Econ side, Success Centers is pleased to offer and host the Leaders Academy. Since 1849, when our city was founded, nonprofit organizations have been at the pinnacle of it. When the YMCA opened its doors for Chinese immigrants in support of their culture and issues integrating into our fair city. Today, the struggle continues, with less than 2% of nonprofit organizations being African American led. We have to change this paradigm because we know that over 85% of the services are catered to or directed toward African American residents. 10 years ago, when I came back to Success Centers and became its first CEO, we were a $500,000 organization. Today, less than 10 years later, we enjoy an operating budget of over $8 million. And that took a lot of work. We had to listen to our constituents. We supported a number of mergers and acquisitions. But the main thing is we had to strengthen the capacity and the infrastructure of our organization. So today, we'd like to share our knowledge. I'm the CEO, first ever, of Success Centers, and I was never formally trained. I moved from job to job to get the experience that I thought I needed to be in the seat. But today, we want to open up what we've learned and share it with the community so that we can expand the opportunities for African American leaders in our city. So I encourage you to join us, along with the Human Rights Commission's Dream Keepers Initiative and the Mayor's Office of Economic and Workforce Development, for Leaders Academy. This is a year-long commitment, one day a month, where we will retreat as organizations, learn and share among each other, not only how to be leaders, but to learn the difference between leadership and management, to understand how to put our budgets together, to create healthy relationships between board and executive director. We hope to get our Leaders Academy started mid-September and go through the end of June. So if you have any other questions about this initiative, please feel free to go on our website at successcenters.org and click on the link. Thank you.
Show your support for Black-owned media with a tax-deductible contribution today. And don't forget to visit Clarity Media's tech and swag store for gear and supplies. Thank you.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sin here, and today I'm going to take you all around San Francisco to 3 of my favorite places to spend the holidays. If any of you are coming from out of town, I recommend taking BART, which can take you practically anywhere in the city. They're currently replacing BART's entire existing fleet, so look for the brand new BARTs with 3 doors, which features all new comfortable seating, air conditioning, and interactive screens that show exactly where you are and where to get off. Now there's nothing more festive than spending the day at Union Square. Go take a picture at the giant Christmas tree, hop on skates at the ice skating rink, grab a bite at one of the delicious food trucks, and take a walk down Maiden Lane. Oh, and did I mention puppies? Go to Macy's and take a peek at the cuties in the window that are all up for adoption. Now once you're done exploring Union Square, head on over to Deck the Halls bar. Take one step inside and you'll feel like you've entered the North Pole. They have Christmas-themed drinks and decor that would make even Santa proud. Not too far from Deck the Halls is the iconic Fairmont Hotel. They're known for their 2-story, life-sized gingerbread house. Walk through the house and enjoy the smells of cinnamon and peppermint candy aromas in the air. If you're meeting friends from out of town, this is a great place to hang out, catch up, and take in all the holiday vibes. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and leave a comment below if you have any other holiday suggestions. See you guys next time.
Tune in weekdays to the Bay Area Mental Health Hour on YouTube, Instagram, and on Facebook. You'll find us covering issues surrounding your everyday coping skills and your mental health and wellness. And remember, your mental health matters as much as your physical health. The first thing I think of is, am I going crazy? No, I'm not going crazy. I just need someone to talk to. I have an issue that I think I can resolve on my own, but I really don't trust myself to resolve it on my own, for example.
Well, it's important that we all get that checkup or that annual checkup, the same thing that you do when you get your physical annual checkup.
You mean like a mental health checkup?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. So it's important for us to go once a year and talk about the things that are plaguing us, the stressors that we have. And it's very possible that just by getting that annual checkup that the therapist recommends that you get further treatment. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have long-term treatment, you're going to be in therapy forever. Sometimes it can be a short-term model that really addresses the stressors and ultimately comes out on the other end, making you feel much more whole, like you're centered and your core is back to where it was. So it is very important.
Core. You talk about physical core and mental core. Now, you mentioned stressors. Okay, I can imagine a lot of stressors. I had a stressor this weekend when I saw past acquaintance at a party with my new boyfriend. Boyfriend, exciting, right? I'm out, relationship stuff, right?
Sure.
We're enjoying ourselves at this point. We're still in the honeymoon phase, I think. So we're still really enjoying each other's company, but I really don't anticipate anything different. But there was a stressor because there was someone in the party who was a former acquaintance of mine, another woman, who I can't have anything to do with her because, you know, it would interfere in my relationships. We were friends and we had to end the relationship. Immediately when I saw her, I felt myself, you know, kind of getting nervous, freaking out a little bit, thinking, oh Lord, she's gonna bring some drama, you know. The great thing is that my boyfriend kind of sensed that. We are already in tune. And he said, hey, babe, let's go and get a bite to eat. Let's leave here. And I could feel us working together to kind of help balance each other. And so in terms of relationships and stressors, just daily living stuff that can be stressful, Talk a little bit about how mental health has a relationship with stressors and how we can deal with stressors just on a daily basis.
Certainly. Let me just talk a bit about relationships in general. So let's think about relationships in the broad sense. So you have, of course, kind of the obvious sort of intimate relationships where you're dating someone or you're in a relationship. You have relationships in terms of your boss, you have your friends, you have your family. So all these different relationships can result in the same outcome where it ultimately feels like it's more stressful than it is positive. And so it's very important to understand which relationships cause significant internal concern and which relationships feel very positive and like they are, of course, helping you out and helping your situation.
Yeah.
So we all have past relationships that, for whatever reason, form or fashion, they didn't really work out. And sometimes you can get those resolved, and sometimes it's just a matter of, merely getting out of there and making sure that it doesn't cause a crisis of some sort.
So that's okay. I mean,
of course.
I kind of felt like, and I think she felt like we needed to talk to resolve it. But at the same time, I hadn't seen her in about 3 years, and that was a way to get some relief from it. And so I was fine until I saw her. So are you saying that we don't necessarily have to resolve issues in relationships per se, that we can just remove ourselves?
Correct.
Or remove the person and be okay and be able to, get over it?
I would say yes and no. So it depends on which relationship we're talking about. If we're talking about a past boss or supervisor who wronged you in some way, right? There's no real need in resolving that. You move on from that. That was a period of your life in which you worked for them and it served its purpose, but that's over and there's no real need to go there. Now, if it's a mother or a father, right, that might be different. And not that some people don't ostracize themselves from family, but I'd say that the goal of most people is to retain those relationships. So it is, of course, important that in the different types of relationships that you discern which ones are long lasting, are going to be there for long periods of time, and which ones are just kind of segments in your life. And from that standpoint, you can kind of determine which ones need resolution and which ones you can kind of just go your separate ways. And maybe even you just wave and say hello to this individual and acknowledge them, but there's no real need to have a discussion or dialogue.
Well, thank you for that, because that in fact is where I was. She stopped me at the door before I could make it out of the building, and she said, "We need to talk." And I said, "No, I'm sorry, this is not the time or place."
Of course.
And so
That's very appropriate.
I'm not going to talk right now. And I just went about my way. I felt a little guilty about it, but I thought that was the best way to resolve that myself.
Sure.
I'm comfortable with that.
And just to kind of paint the picture here, there's no one cookie cutter approach that's going to be perfect for any situation. In that situation you described, you're in public. Of course, having a dialogue, if it was like in a personal sort of space, maybe that's appropriate, but you were there with your significant other, and so
my new boyfriend.
There you go. So what's the real purpose of attempting to resolve things with him standing there as well? So that's kind of what I mean by, you have to really figure out what situations are appropriate.
So let's get a little more specific now. Using that example, with a new boyfriend, had I had the conversation with her, I'm thinking of what I've heard a lot of guys say, and it is a stereotype about women and how we are bipolar, which she's a little bipolar. Sometimes she's this way and sometimes she's that way. And that could be a game changer for a relationship, because generally people just use terms like bipolar.
Of course.
Let's define what bipolar means.
I think it's really important to talk about that particular disorder, because that's one that is stigmatized and it's misinformation in general, right?
You got that, guys? Misinformation.
Sure.
Say that.
So the public likes to think of bipolar, or lay people like to think of bipolar disorder as you go from being happy to some other negative emotion in a short period of time, right? And so that's essentially what people use as your bipolar. Maybe you were just fine and content, and then some stressor you were exposed to, and now you're maybe appearing to be depressed.
Or they call it in the world 0 to 100.
There you go. Exactly, exactly. So that's actually not bipolar. Bipolar disorder is really, and there are different subsets of bipolar, so I don't want to make it too general here, but it essentially is the vacillation between a period or an episode of depression and a period or an episode of mania. And mania is a term that we use that really just means that you have an expansive sense of self. Your energy level is really high, and some people kind of describe these individuals as just kind of being on top of the world. And we're talking clinically significant mania. We're not talking just you're just happy. We're talking this really looks and feels a whole lot different than your interactions with most people.
Now, when you talk about clinical significance, are you talking about the physiology changing? Are you talking about the actual way it looks, the blood pressure, and all of the or chemical changes?
Good question. So what I mean by clinically significant is really this is just so rare that it falls outside of normality, right? And so we all at some point in time have experienced some level of a depressive symptom, right? Like someone passes away, or you lose your job, or something happens that ultimately makes you not feel so good. That doesn't qualify you for depression, right? That's a normal response to a stressor in this example.
Yeah,
but clinically significant depression really means that you fit the diagnostic criteria, which is really laid out in our Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. You meet the criteria for it, and there's a lot of different symptoms you have to meet. And so we just have to really be careful when we place a label on someone, whether it be bipolar or schizophrenic or whatever, because that pretty much just maintains a stigma as opposed to letting an individual understand that they're going through something, but it may not be significant enough to call it something that may need help for.
I have to admit to you now, just as you described the criteria and it being laid out, and I guess there are different levels of abnormality, or that kind of frightens me. It made me feel like there's some standards that have been put into place, and to me, I just don't feel like I'm the standard. Like I'm not going to fit into the norms of what the doctors think are normal. I mean, historically, the African American community we've been made to believe certain things, but personally speaking, we know that our level
Black woman owned. Clarity Media. Tune in weekdays to the Bay Area Mental Health Hour on YouTube, Instagram, and on Facebook. You'll find us covering issues surrounding your everyday coping skills and your mental health and wellness. And remember, your mental health matters as much as your physical health.
Hey there, welcome to Bridgegood. My name is Diego and I'm a fellow Bridgegood creative. Are you a design student looking to build your portfolio or to join the community of creatives and designers? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm going to show you how you can boost your creative online presence and how you can become a part of the community of tech and design with Bridgegood. Bridgegood is a nonprofit organization located in Oakland, California that prepares student designers and job seekers of color in the digital design field by engaging them in open labs and community events. Bridgegood offers a free online platform called bridgegood.com for local Bay Area creatives to build their portfolios as well as to give them access to exclusive events and open labs. If you're like me and you don't know how to create a portfolio, don't worry, Bridgegood's got you covered. At the top of your portfolio page is your featured project, which is essentially a project that most demonstrates your skills. Under is your gallery of projects. I'm going to show you how to upload a project. You're going to go to Upload Project and you'll be brought to this page. You can upload as much as 4 images per project. Be sure to fill in a project title, description, keywords, and other information. Once you're ready, you can upload the image. Be sure to upload at least 4 projects. It's very important that you upload projects frequently to be able to boost your online portfolio, as well to get you noticed by other creatives. Bridgegood offers a resume section where you can input your skills and information. You can fill out experience that you have in your field. Don't forget to add a cover image to complete your portfolio so other people can see it. That's not all Bridgegood.com has to offer. Under VIP Access, this is what's going to help you get into different events and open labs with Bridgegood. It's important to attend these events because they help get you involved with other creatives as well as tech companies. Bridgegood even offers a job browsing page to help you look for jobs in your field as well as to see what employers are looking for. And of course, don't forget to build your network by following other creatives on Bridgegood. Check out their portfolios and leave some feedback, and they can do the same for you. So there you have it. I hope this video has been helpful and inspiring for you. Be sure to upload work frequently to boost your creative online presence and attend events to get involved. Check out my portfolio at bridgegood.com/Diego M. Thanks for watching. Bridgegood, designed for social good.
Black woman owned. Clarity Media.
If you're hungry for some real home cooking, then Chez Soul is the spot for you. Located on Madison Street in downtown Fairfield for the past 12 years, this restaurant got its start in an unconventional way.
A friend of mine, her name is Georgia Tackno. We used to cook together years ago, and we had lost track of each other, and we just so happened to run into each other one day at the grocery store, and she told me about her adventure, that she wanted to start a restaurant.
Hungry for some Southern favorites? Chez Soul has what you're craving. Raised on these traditional Louisiana dishes, Cheryl has switched up some of her recipes to satisfy a richer palate.
We have Louisiana style, Cajun, Creole. Our specialties here is like shrimp Creole, crawfish etouffee, seafood gumbo, and we also serve fried chicken and fried fish. The favorite menu item here is fried chicken, along with the fried catfish. My favorite food here is the seafood gumbo. I just love gumbo. I'm a soup type of girl, you know. My family, we always had gumbo. It was like a staple there. When our customers walk through the door, we want them to be treated as a family member because they'll remember that over the food.
Today's live stream is being brought to you by Clarity Media. Support the San Francisco Dreamkeeper Initiative, recognizing and investing in the diverse Black and African American communities of San Francisco with a wide range of programs to support youth, families, seniors, and members of the Black LGBTQ+ communities. Dreamkeeper San Francisco is fostering hope for generations of Black people to feel free to dream boldly. Visit dreamkeepersf.org today.
Ancestors
If you'd like to be a guest or suggest show ideas, drop an email or a direct message. We'd love to hear from you. Clarity Media, human stories, grassroots solutions. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. The Bay Area Mental Health Hour, Clarity Conversations, and We the People. Building trust for the first time. Out of chaos comes clarity. Clarity Media.
Rock with a few, drip lit like a spotlight. Just winning, media life spinning. Media life spinning.
Clarity Media, our stories, our solutions. You're watching Clarity Media. Out of chaos comes clarity. Black woman owned. Clarity Media.
Black people.
Show your support for Black-owned media with a tax-deductible contribution today. And don't forget to visit Clarity Media's tech and swag store for gear and supplies. Thank you. If you'd like to be a guest or suggest show ideas, drop us an email or a direct message. We'd love to hear from you. Clarity Media, human stories, grassroots solutions. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. The Bay Area Mental Health Hour, Clarity Conversations, and We the People. Building trust for the first time. Out of chaos comes clarity. Clarity Media.
Rock with a few, drip lit like a spotlight. Just winning, media life spinning, media life spinning.
The holidays come to life in Oakland. Celebrate with friends, food, and shopping. It's all here
Oakland for the holidays.
The art of a perfect holiday. Core Creations is Oakland for the holiday.
Too Cute Boutique has everything she wants for Christmas. We are Oakland for the holidays.
What's Christmas without wine? The Wine Noir is Oakland for the holidays.
Come out, shop, and celebrate the season. Support the businesses that support our community. We are Oakland for the holidays.
60% of all Californians who get hurt on the job are Latinos. The California Applicants Attorneys Association fights for equal treatment and rights of immigrant communities when applying for workers' compensation. Know your rights as an injured worker. Visit cAAA.org or call 916-444-5155. This is paid for and sponsored by the California Applicants Attorneys Association. Black woman owned. Clarity Media. Black woman owned. Clarity Media.